What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we had another little hotfix go live in Black Ops 3. It's honestly crazy how many of these things that Treyarch has been pushing out, and I'm really appreciative of it. But anyway, so there's actually a decent amount of weapon tuning and kind of changing in here. I want to let you guys know about it. Vaughn said this is probably going to be the last gameplay hotfix for the year before the Christmas break. So this is the last kind of like weapon tuning, weapon balancing update we're going to have for probably a couple of weeks, and then we'll get back to the grind in 2016. So starting off here with the weapon tuning updates, the XR2 actually had a pretty big buff, so it has increased ADS aim stability. So like when you're aiming down sight, especially looking at long distances and stuff, you know how your kind of cursor moves around a little bit and kind of shakes back and forth and stuff? Well, that's not going to happen quite as much, so it's going to be more accurate at those long ranges, and it's got increased recoil controls. The recoil is not going to be quite as bad. It was reduced, so that's pretty good. You know, overall, XR2 going to be much more accurate. I highly recommend you guys try that thing out. I already really liked it, and this is going to make it even better. Now, next up, we also have increased ADS aim stability on the ICR, the Shiva, all of the LMGs, and the Locus. So every single one of those weapons, when you're aiming down sight, it's not going to move around quite as much. It's going to allow you to be a little bit more accurate, which is pretty good. Now, next up, in terms of shotguns, the KRM-262 and the Argus both had their lethal damage range increased. We don't have exact numbers on this yet, but that sounds pretty interesting. I mean, they're both already, you know, decent shotguns, so any increase in range is definitely going to help them out quite a bit. So I can't wait to test those things out and see exactly what they changed. And then finally, on all the SMGs, there was a reduced sprint out speed. So obviously, that's a pretty important buff there as well. So yeah, pretty much buffs across the board. XR2 had a pretty big buff. ICR, Shiva, all LMGs, and the Locus aren't going to move around as much when you're aiming down sight. KRM-262 and the Argus have increased range, and all the SMGs have a reduced sprint out speed. Now, that's not where they stopped. There was a couple of other things that they changed regarding specialists. So, Rejack, guess what, guys? Rejack got a buff. Yes, Rejack got a buff. Everybody, you know, like, Rejack is a crazy specialist ability. You either really hate it or you really love it. And, you know, when they nerfed it, like, to oblivion when the game first came out, I was happy. A lot of other people were happy, but people who liked Rejack were very unhappy. So now I guess we're going to be going back to a little bit more of a middle ground. So what they did was they increased the Rejack stand-up speed. So, you know, when you choose to come out of Rejack and stand back up to, you know, try to shoot somebody or whatever, you're going to stand up a bit faster and you're not going to be quite as vulnerable. So Rejack is a little bit more powerful now, although I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. And then finally, the Ripper, they reduced the leftover specialist power when you died while it was active. So like when you kind of like started to lunge at somebody and then they shot you before you got them, you're not going to keep as much of your Ripper as you used to. It's going to drop down even further, which I think before you still kept like 3/4 of it, which was pretty crazy. So now it's probably going to go down to like half or something like that. I'm not sure, but that's just kind of a guess. But anyway, yeah, that's the new hotfix in Black Ops 3. Make sure you guys check out some of those guns. It seems like especially the XR2 as well as the KRM-262 and the Argus seem to get the biggest buffs, but everything we've mentioned in this video all had, you know, some sort of buff in one way or another. So that's pretty exciting. If we get more details on exactly what was changed, you guys know when, like, you know, Din Kirsten, the red devs, go through and find the hard stats. If there's some interesting stuff there where, you know, one gun was buffed a lot and stuff like that, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But for now, just know that we had some buffs to the game today. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys later. Check out these two videos if you've seen yet. Peace out, guys.